We'll go get it.
Good morning.
Good morning,
everybody.
everybody.
Shannon's going to get some more booze or whatever he's drinking.
Yeah, Coke and gin, I think.
Good morning.
Oh shit.
Good morning, everybody.
Sorry.
I think everybody that's on here probably understands if they didn't remember already, but today is the 20th anniversary of the attack in New York on the towers, and we thought we'd have just a moment of silence to remember those people that died on that day, and also the ones that worked their tails off on that day.
Yeah, a lot of people affected that didn't pass too.
Okay, guys. Anyway, today we're going to kind of, anyway. Oh, that must have been Shannon.
That was Shannon.
Yeah, no, it was me because I was just getting into another page to try and get the chat so I can talk to everyone.
We're kind of going to continue the discussion we were having last week. I thought it went pretty well last week, and if you see the description, you'll see that I did put up the links for the 3 videos that I was talking about, and they're pretty good. They're very short videos, and it was interesting. There was a lot of stuff I had seen already, but there was even more that I hadn't seen, and I thought were pretty cool. And most of those were one item productions. They weren't put into production for everything, but anyway, excuse me. We've got those, so you can look at those after the show, whatever you want to do with those. But we have some more, like the picture that was on the screen, the startup screen. That train was called the Freak. I've read several different things about that. The most common one was that it was a wrecked locomotive that when they fixed it back up, they did to it what they did to it. But what's interesting about that is you can get, let me see if I can pull this up here. You can get the model NHO N3 from eBay. There's a guy on eBay that sells it. It's a white metal cast loco, and it's geared. It's ready for putting a motor in and running. He used to have this as just a static model. It didn't have the gearing and stuff in it, and of course it was quite a bit cheaper than it is now. But it's a little pricey for one that doesn't actually have a motor in it. But I have seen it with a motor in it, so it can be done, and it's to say the least, a very interesting looking locomotive.
Very unusual.
I guess you could say, Claude, that is when modelers decide to kit bash in 1-to-1.
Yeah, exactly. That's what, from what I can tell on the story of this engine, the real one, because they really built it. The picture that was on the first of the show, that was, the actual locomotive. But from what I can tell, that's exactly what they did. They just kind of bashed it together into this configuration. But I thought, man, that's a pretty interesting cab forward right there.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what we were talking about, was the strange and unusual locomotives. That locomotive is on that series of 3 videos, and also several others that are pretty cool. And like I say, some of them I've seen, some of them I hadn't seen. And anyway,
there was a GG1. I saw this and I couldn't get the picture up in time, but there was a GG1 that was wrecked and they cut it in half.
Oh, I know exactly the one you're talking about.
They used it as a snow blower up until the early 80s.
I think in one of those videos, Steve, that's in there.
Okay.
And I don't know if they had the blower on the front of it. The snow, I don't remember if they did or not, but I remember it was a GG1 that was cut in half. It had been racked and they just chopped it in half. Which I guess that's what the GG1 is, and it? And it's got
pretty much, yeah.
2 motors on it, or two power plants, basically.
Right.
Yeah. There you go. There's. Oh wait, hang on. Oh, nah, didn't work. Hang on. Let me fix this. Open image in new tab. That's better. Now let's try this again. Share screen.
No, it's not coming up over here.
There you go.
There it is. There it is. Yeah, that's the picture I saw.
There you go. Yeah.
And I thought, well, that looks pretty cool on its own right.
Actually, from what I heard, there was 2 reasons they did it. One was obviously, one was smashed up, but also I supposedly heard that when they were decommissioning them, they cut them in half and used them for shunting in the yard before they completely disposed of them.
Yeah, well, I can see how that would be a good use for it.
Because basically, as you said, like the GG1s is basically 2 locos in 1 unit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would have thought it would have been pretty easy to separate that. I mean, as that kind of stuff goes, it wouldn't be like cutting a steam loco in half, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, that'd be an interesting model on your layout. If you were running anything in that time period, that would be an interesting model to kit bash. I don't know how easy it would be to do in a model, but I would think you'd be able to do it. You have to remotor it, but that'd be fun to do.
Yeah. Actually, what I'll do is I'll bring up that other loco as well that I've shown you guys.
Well, what kind of got us started on this, Shannon, last week was the bottle car. Here, let's look at this one first that you got up here.
Okay, so I've seen this loco and I'm familiar with it because obviously Australia, we know English stuff for whatever dumb reason. Even though it looks like a steam locomotive, it's a gas turbine. So this was an experimental loco. I know they're used in England. I think this was the only prototype they ever made of it, which was supposedly somewhat successful, but I think by then, by the time they got this happening, diesel locomotives were well in full force. You had the Deltics, which had the Deltic motor. They were running quite prominent throughout England. So I guess this was like England's way of trying to recycle steam locomotive parts instead of scrapping them and
starting over.
Yeah.
Well, the gas turbines that the UP had, I think one of the problems with them was they just used too much fuel, wasn't it?
Mm-mm. The gas turbines use bunker C oil, and back then when they first started using it, it was very cheap. But then plastic manufacturing found out how to refine it even more. So then the prices for bunker C oil went up, and then it got too costly to actually fuel the locomotives.
Well, I knew it was something with the fuel on them that made them kind of not worth doing anymore. I've never actually looked into it, but I'd heard that at some place. But what got us started on the topic last week was I brought this one up. Let me get it up here. I brought up the fact that I had seen this in a model, but I had never seen a real one. Now,
that's a refinery plant.
Steel plants used them.
Yeah, I'm trying to. The slag. It's a slag. It's a slag car.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, they used to fill it up and
I had seen them in model form on a layout before, and I thought, well, that's an interesting car, but they didn't explain what it was. And I just saw it, going by on a train in a video. So
I think the reason being is like I have seen the same models, But the reason you don't see many of them in real life is because of the large capacity. I think they found the slag tend to harden up inside, so it kind of defeated the purpose, and they essentially made a solid car of just slag.
Yeah.
Because they've got smaller ones, which is it's only single bogies, not double bogies like what that one's got.
Yeah.
And the single ones are, because it's less slag, it doesn't, yeah. Anyway.
Well, and then here was another one that they had. Let me get it on here. Take that one off. Another picture that I found. Of a different car that's very similar in nature, probably of what they used. Now, this looks like an actual model. But
yeah, no, that's the slag cars I'm used to seeing on in actual videos. They have a whole chain of these chained up, and they just pour the slag in, and then they move it out to where they dump the slag and dump it.
Yeah, that almost looks. I'm looking at the wheel flanges, and that almost looks like a Lionel or an O scale model.
Oh yeah, no, definitely O scale. You can tell by the couplers.
Yeah. Well, I was looking at the flanges on the wheels too. That's Lionel trains. I still remember those, how big they were. Anyway, let's see. Well, I had one other picture, and I think it's, if I'm not mistaken, get all these off of here before I get lost completely. Okay, here's another one of basically the same car or same kind of car. And
yep,
this also looks like a model. And I recognize the bucket on here from a steel mill because when I was plumbing, we had to run cooling water one time to in a foundry to their melting pot, and I don't ever want to do that again. You talk about getting a sunburn indoors. That's where you'll get a sunburn indoors, is in a steel plant.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, they would run water into the, what they call it? Whatever they were blowing air into to heat it up, the air and the gas. They would also add water, atomize the water and put in there. I guess it would control the temperature or something that way. But anyway,
well, you got to think about it. If you put enough heat in water, it just instantly evaporates. So,
yeah,
I guess it's to stop any slag or steel from sticking to the sidewalls. Kind of creates like a cushion on the inside of the bowl.
Yeah, they had a reason for it, but I definitely remember that shape of bucket, and of course they had it on an overhead, and it wasn't that big. It was quite a bit smaller. The main vessel that they were heating in was about that size, a little bit different shape, but then they would pour that into the smaller buckets that they had on the overhead, and then they would take that over and pour it into the molding that they had, whatever they were casting. It was a cast iron foundry is what it was. But, yeah, I should have known what the other one was just from going out there and doing that at that time. And of course, that's been many eons ago, it seems like. I was quite a bit younger, but yeah, it was an interesting to see some of these cars. So I'm trying to think what else I had up there.
I'm just trying to Google unusual trains now. So
yeah, these are the pictures that Steve had sent me last week that I couldn't really figure out how to get them on here good because I had to download them and I hadn't done that yet. Let me share this one. These are the pictures, Steve, that you sent.
Okay.
Of the what they call it?
It was a Spino rail grinder.
Okay. Now wait a minute. Why isn't this working here? Okay, got that.
Is that long maintenance of way train where you got all the grinders?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen videos of that. Jesus.
Yeah, I got called to pilot that thing, and there was nothing for me to do because they ran the stupid thing. So
Yeah, you were just there for dynamic brakes. That's about it, wasn't it?
no, I was there for fire hose duty. I sat on top of the caboose with the fire hose.
Well, I can't figure out how to get it to come up because it's wanting to go through Facebook and it just doesn't want to share it. Yeah, it's not gonna.
Link it to me, Claude, and I'll see if I can get it to work.
Yeah, I didn't play with it enough. I got it to where I got the pictures downloaded on my computer, but when I pull it up, it still goes back to Facebook to try and show the picture. Let me see if I can send these to you.
Damn Facebook.
Don't get started. Oh, by the way, that reminds me, if anybody friends me on Facebook, chances are I'm not going to accept it. I just don't do Facebook anymore. So it's not a cut on you if you're wanting to friend me. I just don't get on there anymore. So I kind of find it redundant to have any friends on there. So anyway, hopefully that works, Shannon, although I'm not seeing the pictures, but that's the files that I have.
Yeah, nah, they've been deleted. That's what's happened.
Okay. That's
I know exactly the train you're talking about.
Joe.
You're in Facebook jail?
Oh, I want to hear the story of that sometime.
Really?
We're going to have you on the show, Joe, and you're going to explain that one.
Yeah.
Because that makes me laugh just reading that.
Yeah, we'll have you on a bean so we can talk politics.
Oh, mercy. My dogs are being rambunctious this morning. They're wanting in here with me.
Mine's sound asleep. He got wore out yesterday, so he's sound asleep.
So yeah. So be aware, Joe. We're gonna get you on at some point.
Yeah.
And make you tell us about that.
Here you go. Here's a video I found. I'll turn the sound off.
Is that the rail grinder?
You'll see once that bright headlight buggers off.
I did it during the day, so I didn't get to see it at night.
Oh yeah. Now see, I haven't seen one of these in operation.
Oh, they're
Personally, I haven't seen one, but
funny thing is now I'm gonna look for all these videos and go, is that Steve? Is that Steve?
No, I guess it was Lorem. It wasn't Spino. That's right.
So now, what's this actually doing? Is it actually reshaping the entire head, or is it just hitting high spots?
It's reprofiling it because they get worn out after a while.
Okay, so it runs along the rail. It doesn't
Yeah.
just like they do on the highway. You know, they'll come in and they'll take high spots off with a grinder.
Yeah.
And you'll see that strip where they ground across the road where the high spot was to make it smoother.
Basically the same thing.
Okay.
But you know, the rail can't be flat. It's got to be profiled correctly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So now what are these cars back behind it with the lights on?
Power generator cars, some of them, and some of them are water cars.
Inspection cars by the looks of that last one there.
Yeah, I was wondering if they have a camera underneath one of those that takes a picture of it after it profiles it.
Well, that one doesn't have the caboose on it.
Yeah, no, I saw a photo of the one with the caboose, so I'm like, nah, video's better. But no, I understand the concept of this because I know there's another video where it explains it, and basically, like obviously as the trains run over it, it flattens it out and it starts to cut into the wheels. So they reprofile it so it doesn't cut into the wheels and keeps the, those preventative maintenance with both the track and, for changing wheels on freight cars and locomotives.
Exactly.
There you go. Steve will be in the car.
I got to get Claude to find those pictures. I wonder if I can send them again.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I had to let the dogs in. She kept pounding on the door, but I also had to lower the blind because they look out the window and see dogs and go crazy. So I'm trying to knock that out before it
You
happens.
want me to try to find those pictures again, Claude, and send them maybe in Messenger?
Yeah.
No, because he did that with me and it didn't work. So,
But what you're going to have to do is probably get it off of Facebook completely without a Facebook link on it.
Oh,
Because that's what they had on there was the Facebook link. Because see, I put them in a folder. Well, that folder just shows the file. It doesn't show a picture. It doesn't show a thumbnail like it does when you put a picture in there.
oh, I see.
And so when I click on it, it brings it up, but it brings it up in Facebook.
Okay.
And so it doesn't, for some reason, this doesn't want to share that.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
I thought I could still share it through there, but yeah, I would think they'd have to definitely have a water car with one of those,
Oh, yeah.
putting off sparks like that, because yeah,
Well,
that would be real easy to start a fire. You get no
Well, a lot of those cars that you don't see are actually water cars that are spraying. They're spraying down on the roadbed.
well, I guess it depends on the area as well. Like, obviously, over in Oregon and the East Coast where there's a lot of greenery and whatnot during the summer. I could imagine that. But if you're in central USA, I don't think it'd be as much of a issue because everything's pretty much dry anyway. The chances of a fire starting is slim.
Well, in the
actually,
summer months here, they actually have to run a water car behind the power.
Yeah,
it's a tank car with a pump on it.
Yeah, because it's still dry there, even though it's green.
Yeah.
And Steve's been saying with all these fires they've been having, that's one of the reasons, because it's so dry there. Here we get the humidity and stuff, but normally this year it didn't happen because everything's still green here.
Right.
But normally this time of year in the summertime, except for yards that you're watering, grasses, fields and stuff are all brown. They're all, a honey brown color, and very dry. And it doesn't take anything to get fire started on them. And so if they were running that down, say just outside of town somewhere where there's, a lot of growth right around the ballast and stuff, I could see it starting a fire really easy. We get fires here all the time on the highway where people throw a cigarette out or something, and it'll catch really quick. Normally this time of year, but this year we're still green for some reason. We've had quite a bit of rain this summer, which is strange. But anyway, so anyway, those are the ones I had found, and I do highly recommend looking at those 3 videos that I put in the description. I also put the link to that eBay find if you're interested in that, so you don't have to go searching for it. The guy that actually has that model, he has a lot of white metal castings and stuff, detail parts, that sort of thing. He also has trains and cars and rolling stock and all other stuff too, but he has a lot of detail parts, and that's where I bought a lot of detail parts from him. And he's got some interesting stuff in there too, so you might give him a look when you're out there. So did you have anything else, Steve, on that the interesting cars that you found? Have you looked for anything?
No, that was it. No, I haven't been able to find anything. Just that GG1. No.
Yeah. You could probably look on Google and find some that were a little bit unusual. Let's see. I can probably do that real quick.
I'm just trying to find something from Australia. When I first saw it, I thought it was American, but then when I started researching, I'm like, oh, it's an Aussie one.
Well, I've got one. Let me see if I can send you one. Hang on, Claude. Let me see.
The one that really caught my eye on the video is this one here. If I can get it pulled up here, and then I can show it to you guys. And I see it's wanting to pull up the video. I don't want to do that. I want the picture. There we go. There's the picture of it. Now we'll see if we can share that. This one is This one's kind of neat. It almost looks like an old steam. Why is that not coming up?
I'm going to try to send you one, Claude.
Huh. Here we go. No, that was a Google search. Oh, here it is, this one. Okay, did that come up? There it is. Not a very big picture, but the reason this one to me looked like an old steam thresher that you'd see on a farm or out doing hay or something like that is the wheel up on top. This is the drive wheel. And it drove this wheel by contact.
And wasn't very successful.
No, I wouldn't think so. I think you'd have a lot of slippage going on there because you've got, not only do you have this wheel to the rail, but you've also got this wheel to this wheel.
Yeah, no, that's what they found. Yeah, there was no weight on the wheel, so yeah, there was just a lot of slippage.
But it was an interesting look. And I thought, you changed the front of that, and it looked just like one of those big old threshers out there doing wheat or something,
Yeah, I think the reason behind it, they were trying to experiment with that is, obviously you get a larger wheel to turn a smaller wheel, you get a faster turning wheel.
Yeah, that's what they were after. I think they said was it was an experiment to make it more efficient, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just kind of strange looking. Okay, Shannon's got one here. Let's see.
So a lot of people should recognize that. It's the Mckeen Railcar. Designed in the States, but funny enough, 2 were purchased by Australia and they were running around here in the early 1900s. So,
well, that one doesn't look too crazy. Now, was it run as a streetcar kind of deal? I mean, a rail car? Did it pull a train?
No, it's a rail car that went from station to station.
Well, that's not too far off of what they ran here.
Yeah, but the thing is, the front of that rail car is like a knife. It's like a wedge.
Yeah.
So
trying to streamline a little bit.
Oh yeah.
I'm still here. I'm trying to reformat that picture for you.
Jason, what are you going on about a cab forward on the pre-show screen?
The locomotive that I was showing that you can buy on eBay. Did you want the eBay link, Shannon? Not Shannon. Jason.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, why do I want it?
My brain is a terrible thing.
Yeah, well, considering what I'm got in the mail coming to me, oh God, I'm not looking forward to that debacle of a.
Let's see here. I can put that back up, I think.
Oh, Jason says he has a model of it.
Oh, you actually have a model of it. So you're asking me where was that picture taken? I do not know. I think they said it was in the Pacific Northwest, but I don't remember exactly. You'd have to watch the video. And the video, I don't think has any voice to it. I think it's all put up on the screen, if I remember right. It's been a week and a half ago that I watched those, so I don't remember.
Oh no! Now Jason started. Everyone's talking about cab forwards.
Well, I remember the first time I saw a cab forward, an SP cab forward, and I thought that was one of the coolest things I'd ever seen. And
cab forward was the first articulate I bought.
Yeah, well, and then I read about why they built those, and it made perfect sense. Got the crew out of the smoke.
Yeah, long snow sheds up in the Sierras.
Yeah. They didn't care about all the passengers back in that they were going. But yeah, I can see how that would work. In fact, they carried that on with the diesels and putting the grills down lower on the tunnel motors. The SD 42Ts and GP 42. I think they made them in GPs too. But the T models,
they had a
GP running through the tunnels.
Yeah, there was a GP15 tunnel motor. I don't know why they did that. Oh, come on. I can't find this. Here we go.
Steve, I think you're talking about feeding coal into the cab forward. They either used a conveyor if they were still using coal.
No, they burned oil.
Most of them
Yeah,
burned
as soon
oil.
as they went cab forward, it was
SPs burned
oil.
And the Freak, I think, on there is probably burning oil also. But now I know, like on the big boy and stuff, that was such a big engine that they didn't shovel the coal. They used a conveyor to.
Or it was a corkscrew. It wasn't conveyor. It was a corkscrew.
Well, same kind of deal, yeah. But it was a mechanical delivery device for it. Yeah, I can imagine trying to shuffle on a big boy. I don't think you could keep up with it.
Nah, they said to manually shovel enough coal into a big boy to run it, you needed like 6 firemen.
Yeah,
just constantly shoveling.
Hey, John, have a good weekend too.
Claude, I just sent you a picture of an unusual load in Messenger.
Okay.
See if you can get it.
Yeah, I got it. Let me wait a second here, because to really show it properly, I need to download it for copying. Okay, come on. I'm not real crazy
Actually,
how Chrome changed their stuff, but they did.
Actually, in saying that, I know it's been going around Facebook, but did you guys see that video of the truck carrying the wind turbine blade and it getting hit by a UP train?
No.
No, that would be interesting.
I'll see if I can find the video. I think a few guys on chat might have seen it, but I'll see if I can find it.
Oh, there you go. That's a
that is the
282, isn't it?
That's the 19. That is the Wairika Western locomotive that was in the movie Emperor of the North when they were shipping it to the Age of Steam Roundhouse after it was auctioned off. That's a very famous locomotive. That's Shack's train.
And that's a standard gauge loco, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of the narrow gauge is same wheel arrangement, consolidated, but
that flat car was bowing in the middle. I don't know why they put that whole thing on one flat car.
Yeah, that's a pretty good amount of weight there. Of course, most of that weight's going to be on the front half of that car.
Right.
That's where most of the weight is. But still, yeah, you wouldn't think they would put it all in one, unless they didn't have to go very far with it.
It went halfway across the country.
Oh, wow.
Let me see what else I can find.
Man, yeah.
I have no idea why they did that.
Who knows?
Here you go. Here's that video.
Okay, here we go. Oh, okay.
So they're doing a maneuver, and and they were just slowly inching this blade across, and then next minute,
here come the train.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And that's a new one too. I don't think.
Oh yeah. Look, he's taking out the look, bang.
I can't believe they tried to turn a corner.
This is the other side. This is the other side.
Well, he almost got it out of the way.
Well, the thing is, where the train hit, at the end of the blade, it's actually another guy in a specially designed dolly, trailer dolly that actually has steering, so they can steer the other end of the blade.
Yeah, but whoever made the route come out where they had to make a quick 90-degree turn over
was an idiot.
Crossing was an idiot. Yeah, that's who's to blame for that right there. That and the crew trying to do it.
Yeah, they should have at least, spoken to, called the
railway.
Yeah, the railway and say, hey, look, between X time and X time, we're moving this. So can you please have the train stop at the signal before the crossing until we give you the clear?
When did that happen?
I first saw it a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, because there were some people got hurt with that.
Hang on. That was a news article. Hang on. When did it happen?
Okay. Steve sent me pictures other than the dogs. Huh? Oh, this is okay. Here we go.
So it was in Texas at the intersection of US Highway 90 and US 183, East Pierce and North Magnolia Avenue. And this news article is from the 2nd of September. So, and it happened on the Sunday. So the Sunday before the 2nd. Yeah, so not last Sunday, the Sunday before. So, but yeah, the guys were very lucky.
Oh, there wasn't anybody hurt on it?
No, surprisingly, they all got out fine from the report. Like they went to the hospital, got checked up.
And nobody other than the truck crew and the train crew were involved in, I guess.
Yeah.
And that's lucky. Steve, I don't think it's going to work.
Well, you sent the one, it worked.
Yeah, but this is still wanting to pull it off of Facebook, and I don't think it's...
I sent it in Messenger.
I know. But it's still, when I click on the picture, it still wants to pull it off of Facebook.
What if well, let me try this. Let me see. Oh, I have an idea. Hang on a second. Here you go. Let's try this.
Yeah, right. Don't mind us, guys. We're just here for the beer.
4. Okay, these are pics. Okay, try this. I'm texting you these.
Okay. Trying again. The one you sent on Messenger was fine, but it wasn't linked to anything.
Yeah. Well, I sent
not Messenger,
the other ones.
not Messenger, but text message. The Messenger ones didn't like to come through. Okay, now these will probably work.
Okay, try those.
Okay, these will probably work. See, because I can just copy these.
Okay.
I think. Oh, come on. Okay, up here. Come on. There we go. Okay. Too many buttons, too many screens, and too many buttons.
Where's the any key?
Okay, there you go. Is that gun up there?
There we go.
Okay. That's the grinder.
That's the grinder. I was sitting on top of the caboose.
Oh, okay. So this is a picture you actually took.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yep.
And where is this? In the Central California Valley somewhere?
Yeah, that's actually near Port Chicago, California, between Antioch and Martinez. It's called Nichols Curve. It's where the Santa Fe crossed over the SP tracks.
Okay.
And they did it in the wintertime, so there wasn't a whole lot of worry about fire, just tie fires.
Yeah. Yeah, because see, in Oklahoma, if that was done in the summertime, there wouldn't be any green there normally.
Yeah.
This time of year in Oklahoma, and you'd have definite fire problem.
I sent you 2 other ones too. Actually 3, I think. There's one of the little Buttercup, the Santa Fe. I think it was a hell, I think it was a 240 that they donated to the California State Railroad Museum in 1986. It was sitting on a flat car.
Okay, so if I can get that one up here. Alrighty. Moving screens everywhere, trying to get all this to show. There we go. There's that one.
Yeah, that's a little buttercup.
Oh, look at it.
Well, that
Where's
looks
the tunnel?
similar to what you're building, Steve, or what you're finishing up.
Similar.
Yeah, it's an American, isn't it?
I think it's a 240.
Well, I was going
But
to say,
yours-
Steve, where's the funnel?
What's that?
Where's the funnel?
The funnel. I don't know. They took it off, I guess.
This one doesn't use fuel.
Yeah.
Uses well wishes. That's what it is.
Mm.
But yeah, yours is a 440, right? Yours is an American.
Yeah, mine's American.
This one would have been an Atlantic. Is that what they called the 240? I can't remember.
No, an Atlantic was a 442.
Two?
Yeah.
I'm not sure what.
I'm doing a quick Google of it.
Somebody look up 240 and see what it was called.
The Buttercup locomotive is a 040.
See you later, Jason.
040. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Atlantic was a 040. Okay. Well, that's
No.
not. That looked like it had a pilot truck on it though. So
I thought.
Yeah, no, I just looked at the Buttercup and yeah, it's an 040 and there's plenty of pictures to support it.
oh, okay. So it is an Atlantic. Okay, good deal. Jason had to leave. Take care, Jason.
I can't get chat back up.
It's because nobody wants to talk to you.
I know.
Okay, I don't know how much time. Oh, God, we've already gone through 45 minutes here.
And it's more bull crapping.
Well, yeah, everything else I've got from you, Steve, is the stuff you'd already sent me.
Well, I sent you 2 other pictures of the grinder and the buttercup. Let me see if I can get those back up. Hang on a second.
You sent me 2 pictures of the Buttercup.
No, 2 other pictures of the rail grinder.
Yeah. Well, it's basically the same view.
Yeah, well, that's true. Oh, here we go. Here, this was a wreck in. Okay, I'm going to send this to you. These were 2. It was I believe they were 2 GP30s. Oh, come on. 2 Claude. Hang on a second.
See, and I spent an hour and a half yesterday trying to get all these links and stuff put up on here. So we'd have a cohesive show for a change. I should have known.
Cohesive?
Okay.
Okay, here we go.
Okay. Okay. I'll explain that when you put it up.
Yeah, let me get it up on the screen. Oh, why isn't that coming up?
Oh. Guess what I
Did that come? Oh, it's coming up as the. No, I don't want that.
No, it's the bottom one.
Okay, let me get the. Hang on here. I don't know why.
whilst you did that, who here is very familiar with the ASU
Yes.
cab controller?
Come here. Come here.
The who?
The ASU cab controller.
Oh, not me. Sorry.
Oh, Jesus, look at those.
Yeah.
That was a wreck just east of Richmond in 1979. And there was a kid that had been trying to sabotage trains for a while, and he was out on parole, busted the lock off the switch at North Bay. And the train was coming down the sag, and this guy had the train lined into a track loaded with cars load of coke, and basically it was just one big pile, and the thing caught fire, and it's a long story, but the crew got out, but they actually had to climb out of the bottom of the locomotive through one of the battery boxes to get out of the cab.
Oh, wow. Sorry about the dogs, guys. Somebody ring the doorbell.
No, that's okay. I got Gus in my lap now.
Yeah, that's all right.
Couldn't hit mute quick enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that was a pretty bad wreck.
Actually, maybe that's what we could talk about next week. Next week we can talk about
Train wrecks.
train wrecks, like purposely, derailed trains.
Or
just train wrecks.
Yeah. Well, I'll see if I can't find that YouTube video to link up that I watched. We're talking about going down Cajon that was overweight and all that stuff. It's an interesting video that they have on there.
Oh yeah, I know. Actually, there's another one. Actually, no, it's not train related. It's kind of train related because the reason this all happened was because they put a subway in. So they had to reroute the sewerage and all the piping. And long story short,
Thank you.
the gas pipe wore a hole. All the gas went into the sewerage, and some guy having a smoke threw his cigarette down into the gutter.
Oh, jeez.
And half of Mexican town blew up because all the gas had built up over like a month.
Oh wow! I'm surprised they didn't notice it before then. Of course,
no, because that's the thing. Gas is denser than air, so it actually sits low.
Well, and you say it was in Mexico?
Yeah.
See, I don't know if they add a smell to their gas or not, like we do here.
Well, you got to think about it. If it's leaking into the sewerage, do you think you're going to notice the smell of gas in the sewerage?
I guarantee you would. But and of course, their sewer systems. I don't know if they run them like we do. Our sanitary sewers, which carries all your house waste, is separate from storm sewer, and you wouldn't be able to throw a cigarette down that unless you picked a manhole up somewhere and did it, and that's not going to happen. So. But Mexico, if they're doing stuff different, then I could see how that maybe could happen.
Yeah. Mind you, I can just imagine being the guy, you're just walking down the street, having a smoke, and then go, oh, I'm done with it. Flick with douche.
Boom.
Yeah.
You silly.
Okay, what do we got here?
I got a wife here.
I got a dog.
Very, very tired.
Okay, so Boeing, 2 other special loads air containers. One is a double tall container. One is a double wide container. I'm missing something here.
Honey.
Here we go. Rob says, did you hear about the guy that made a model of the rail grinder? It worked good the first time. He will be rebuilding the layout after a new house. Yeah, I could see how that could happen.
Yeah. Actually, in saying that, I just thought of something. So, as I told you guys before the show, so I bought a 3D printer. That was my wife finding out about it for the first time.
Yeah, I started to say that sounded like somebody didn't know.
Anyway, so I bought a 3D printer. So what I'll do is, obviously, it's going to be a long learning curve for me. So once I do get it every week, I'll go, look at my failed projects.
This is assuming you live more than a couple more days.
Crystal's going to kill you.
Yeah, I've heard that
it was
before.
It's a Father's Day present for myself. And I got it cheap.
Can you stop?
I got it cheap, so.
Yeah.
But, apart from that, I'm looking at a CNC and laser cutting thingamajig. I'm upgrading my DC. I've upgraded my DCC system from NC to an ESU cab controller, which is fully wireless, Android compatible. And and I'm moving away from my American stuff into my Aussie stuff.
John, I don't think the doghouse is gonna be safe enough for him.
Here in Australia, we call that camping.
Yeah. I don't think that's gonna be anywhere near safe enough for you. If she knows where you're sleeping, you're in trouble, dude.
That's all right. I'm watching her eat Nutella. Actually, do you guys have Nutella over in the States?
What?
Nutella.
No.
Yeah.
What? Nope. I don't know.
Yeah, we've got it here.
Okay, it's basically peanut butter solely made out of cocoa and hazelnut.
Yeah, it was invented for during World War II for the troops.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm just watching her eating it out of the tub straight with a spoon.
Hey, I used to do peanut butter that way, so you know.
Yeah.
Of course, that was a long time ago too.
Can you
stop? A Glowforge, Roy. I am not making 1-to-1 scale stuff yet.
Glowforge, that's good.
That's a good puppy.
We just turned him into a blacksmith. He looks kind of like one today.
No, I've been cleaning my room. My room looks like a bomb's dropped.
Yeah, I understand that. I need to clean my train room up because I'm getting ready to move around. I've finished some stuff and ready to move on around the corner and start getting closer to the yard. So I've got a lot of stuff I got to move out of the way because it's all sitting there. I don't know what I'm going to do with it when I get the yard finished because I'm not going to be able to set stuff there. So that should prove interesting.
Another workbench.
I don't have room for another workbench in there. Because the only other flat spot in there is where all the the cattle loading and stuff's going to go. So when I get done with the yard, that's going to be the next thing to get built. So
actually, I was going to say, Claude, you know what you should do? You should just get a flat piece of pine or MDF. Just something flat and small. Add some legs on hinges on one side. So that way. What you do is, you pop the legs down and then you sit on top of the layout, and it's like, okay, I'm going to work there, so I can work here.
I think I weigh too much for that. I'm not sure my bench work would hold me. It probably would, but yeah.
No. Like the flat piece of wood you use as your flat workbench. So, like, say you're doing a section in your yard.
Yeah.
You lay the flat board over a section of the yard that you're not working on.
Oh yeah, well I already do that. I either use a big piece of stiff cardboard or a piece of MDF or something like that. Not MDF, but masonite, something like that. And I'll do that and set stuff on there instead of sitting it on the tracks. But there's a lot of stuff sitting on the tracks too. So. But yeah, it's coming along. I've been trying to work on it, trying to force myself to get up there and work on it because if I don't, I'll be dead before it's done. So,
Yeah, well, I still got to get started on my layout, but I still got to clean everything else up first. So.
My problem is I'll get up there thinking I'm going to work on something that I just left, the last time I was up there, and I'll start looking around and going, "Oh, I need to do this over here," and I'll get over here and start doing on that instead of finishing what I was doing. So that's a thing I battle all the time with building, but anyway, it's coming along. It's getting there. And at least I'm at the point where I'm not buying a lot of rolling stock and locomotives anymore. I've got all of that pretty much that I need. In fact, I've got some stuff that I need to, put DCC in and all that, but all that's kind of waiting until I get further along with the layout where I'm actually running trains more.
Well, actually, at the moment, good luck trying to get decoders because there's a shortage.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. And I'm not in a hurry. I've got plenty of DCC stuff. So I don't have to worry about how quick those go in. But it's like these two little locos on the table here. Now this one probably won't ever get one. This one probably won't ever get. And these are both brass engines. I've got another one that's almost identical to this.
Actually, think of this way. Think of this way, Claude. If I do get the CNC laser cutter, you can just call me up and go, "Hey, Shannon, can you cut up some brass pieces?"
Yeah. The problem is the cost of shipping all that stuff.
And the time.
Yeah, and the time it takes to get it.
No. I just draw it up, and then or you draw it up because it just has to be a bitmap image.
Yeah.
And then I'll just go, all right, overnight, print, go to bed, next morning, all right, it's done.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought about getting some of that stuff, and then I thought, no. That's just another thing I'd get involved in and not be doing the layout.
Yeah,
If
well,
I
that's the thing,
something like a 3D printer or a laser printer, I'd get interested in that and doing just that and not working on the layout.
Well, that's the thing. I'm wanting to get a 3D printer because Australian N scale is very hard to get. A lot of stuff I'm buying it is kits. But also railroad crossings, signs, station buildings, they're all very Australian. Like it's either I scratch build it with evergreen styrene or something.
Mm-hmm.
So if I get a laser cutter and a 3D printer or whatnot, I can pretty much just draw it up, build it.
Well, if I run across anything I got to have that I can't find commercially, I'd probably holler at you. Now that I know you have one.
Yeah, well, the 3D printer I should be getting next week or the week after. And as I said, the CNC laser I probably won't buy for another 2 weeks, so I probably won't see that for about a month.
Yeah.
My wife's glaring at me with these eyes like, what have you done?
Yeah, I can imagine, man. I'm married.
You're in trouble, Shannon.
We're still
See, look at those eyes.
We're still surprised you're walking around and talking and stuff. I'm surprised she's taking you out already. Like I say, Steve and I have both been married a while. We know what's going on.
Your dad.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you Googling? How to make this look like an accident.
All righty. Well, let's see. We're
2 minutes.
58 minutes in. So anything anybody wants to ask a question about or anything like that? I've been trying to watch chat, but they're kind of holding their own thing over here.
Yeah, I haven't even looked. I'm trying to hold the dog.
Actually, I was thinking of something, but I'll talk to you guys after we finish this because I don't want to say anything and then, we decide, no, we won't do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I can't stay on very long afterward, but I can for a few minutes.
I can't either. I got to get this.
No, it'll only be for a few minutes. So.
Okay. Well, with that, we'll say goodbye, guys. Thanks for showing up. And as usual, it was fun. At least for me, it was.
It's always fun. It put Gus to sleep.
Here's Joe's answer to the gas problem down in Mexico. I wasn't going to say that, but I'll let Joe say it. Anyway, guys, thanks for showing up. I hope you had a good time, and take care. And remember those of 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never forget.
Yep.
Yeah. My heart out to those who have lost loved ones and whatnot in that tragedy, but yeah.
Have a good one. We'll see you next week.